Hello and good morning. No, good afternoon. It's past midday. Anyway, I I'm kind of wondering how long am I going to milk this trip that I had now, which was 2 months ago or a month and a half ago or a month ago. I'm not exactly sure now because it's been a while. I want to say maybe a month ago. I think about a month ago because it's the it's middle-ish of October. So, and I think we went on the trip mid-ish September. And it did come up pretty fast. So everything's been really busy and a little bit of a blur, but I've been like, oh, I actually went away and did something different from my boring everyday life where I stay at home and work and then go and get groceries. So we were away for a while, and by a while I mean a week, which is not very long. And we were in Melbourne, and I got to visit one of my favorite perfume stores while we were in Melbourne, which is Lore Perfumery. I will link their shop down below. And I think I do have a video from a visit quite a while ago, maybe like, I want to say 6 or so months ago, from a different trip, which actually shows the whole shop and it's beautiful. So I will link that video below too. And Echo, if I forget, remind me. While I was there, I sniffed a lot of things because that's what I do. I don't get out to shops much and things like that. So when I do, I like to be able to go and like smell perfumes in person. And I really don't think that in general, blind buying a perfume is a good idea because perfumes are so very, very personal. And it's not always easy to find a reviewer of a perfume who has the exact same taste as you, and your nose changes and your tastes change, and different seasons you like different things. I mean, if you've been watching me for any length of time, you will know that in the last sort of several months, my nose has gone from I hate anything with rose in it to, oh, I'm quite liking this new take on rose in this perfume and I kind of like it. So, Anyway, so we were at Lore and I went in specifically because I wanted to check out the Demeter single note perfumes and also just to sniff everything. And they have a new brand they're carrying called Chasing Scents. And these are only the travel sizes, the small sizes, because I wasn't going to, I love them. But I also know that at the speed that it takes me to get through a bottle of perfume, I don't need a full size because this will last me a very long time. And I think I will actually stick this in my travel makeup roll for perfumes and travel with them and just enjoy them and wear them whenever I travel. And so that's going to work really, really well. I do have a video that I posted earlier, milking this whole travel thing, which, let's face it, I don't travel that much. I used to a lot more, but I don't travel that much anymore. And I like not traveling. Okay. I'm just going to put that out there. But I do still intermittently because hubby has work that takes him away, and we do like to go on the odd vacation. So, yes, I picked these up and I smell them. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I love tea scented perfume. They just are beautiful. I just love the smell of tea mixed with some florals or some vanilla and things like that in a perfume. So this whole brand, Chasing Scents, is all about the tea fragrances. And anyway, I'm just gonna sort of pop this up here. This is from Fragrantica, and This is one of the perfumes I bought. It's called Tea Service, and the brand is called, the house is called Chasing Scents, and that's what their bottles look like. I just wanted to show you that because I only have the small ones. So Tea Service, which I just showed you, this is just the tiny version, is jasmine, oolong tea, goji berry, osmanthus, white peach, and musk. Now, you know how I normally try, if I'm organized enough, to actually spray the perfume on a scent strip so I don't have a lot of perfume all over on me? I'm not going to do that this time because I actually want to wear this. So Tea Service, when I sprayed it, look, oh my word, it is basically jasmine tea. Now, I'm Chinese. I grew up drinking Chinese tea. And in Chinese tea, jasmine tea is a very popular tea. And then you know how you have chrysanthemum tea and all sorts of different teas. But jasmine tea is sort of like this. Every time we went out to a Chinese restaurant or we went to Yum Cha or something like that, it's jasmine tea. And this smells exactly, I don't know how they've done it, but this smells exactly like jasmine tea. It's fresh, it's slightly floral. If you don't like jasmine, maybe you might not like it, but the jasmine is not very strong because it's predominantly the oolong tea and with a hint of the jasmine to just give it a little bit of sweetness and floral. And it's really, really fragrant. Now, if you're not a tea drinker, this might not resonate as much with you. But, you know, for me, who grew up, and I love tea, grew up drinking tea, I still drink a lot of tea. How many times can I say tea in one video? This is just all my childhood memories, all the times I went out with my family for a Chinese meal, and the server would come with a pot of piping hot tea and pouring it into the little Chinese teacups in front of me, and the steam would waft up into the air, and I would smell the tea while it's being poured. And then when I take that first sip when it's still hot, and the fragrance of the tea goes up my nose, and it's such a sensory, memory-inducing feeling. This is what that smells like for me. Oh, it's just beautiful. And I don't know, maybe, do you need to be Chinese to have that kind of a memory? Maybe, because I grew up with this. So this is very special to me. At some point, maybe I will get a full bottle, only to have a full bottle, because I don't know that I ever really want to be without it. But we'll see how I go in terms of, you know, getting through this. So that's Chasing Tea. And the other one is chrysanthemum rain tea. And it has chrysanthemum, wattle, chamomile, white tea, rain, barley, honey, and longan. Longan is a tropical fruit, or an Asian fruit. And if you've ever had lychee, I think a lot of the Westerners call it lychee. Us Asians and Malaysians call it lychee. Longan is the other sort of similar-ish type fruit to a lychee, except that it's got a smooth brown skin, and the flesh is sweeter, and less tart than a lychee. When you eat a lychee, it's juicy and the flesh tends to be sort of a soft and spongy, and it tends to be sort of a sweet and tart. Whereas longans tend to be more of a crunchier texture in the flesh, and it is more of a slightly sweet flavor as opposed to sweet and tart. And I actually prefer longans to lychees, but if you get a really good lychee, they're fantastic too. Anyway, so Chasing Scents Rain Tea Perfume. It's in an EDP, and I actually don't remember exactly what this smells like. Okay, I smell the chrysanthemum. So the reason I think I picked this one up, I'm just going to give it one more spritz. They last, by the way. These perfumes, they're not very strong. They're a very, what I would call a personal scent, because they stay quite close to the skin. But as a skin scent, they're strong and they last a long time, because I got a good 6 hours out of them, and I'm happy with that. Okay. So chrysanthemum is this one. The rain tea is chrysanthemum, wattle, chamomile, and white tea and rain. So it smells wet, like an afternoon on a sunny day, but it's raining. And you know that wetness in the air from the rain and the humidity and the heat and the evaporation as wet rain hits the hot ground? You get that. And underneath that is the chrysanthemum and the wattle and the white tea. And so it smells a little bit more herbaceous compared to tea, what's the other one called? Tea service, which is like full-on jasmine tea. Whereas this one reminds me of sitting out on the back porch, drinking a hot cup of chrysanthemum tea. And chrysanthemum is a flower. I think the Americans call them mums. And they are, we have them as tea a lot, us Chinese, because it's a very cooling tea, and it's very good for you if you're feeling internally overheated. So I drink it a lot. I love chrysanthemum tea. I love the flavor. It's very, very floral, but it's not jasmine floral. So it's more of a herbaceous floral, and that's what I get from this. So when I smell this, I get pictures of drinking a hot, wafting cup of fragrant chrysanthemum tea on a rainy day, and I can smell the rain and the wet coming off the ground because it was hot before. And it's just, here I am waxing lyrical over tea, because I love tea and I love perfumes that smell like tea. So anyway, this is gorgeous. I love them both. I think they had like 6 different scents in their line. I'm gonna have a quick look. But these were the 2 that I liked the most, that I wanted to pick up. And I'm not the gotta catch 'em all Pokemon kind of person where, you know, I'm just gonna get the whole collection. Well, the main reason is one, it's crazy. Two, I probably don't like all of them. And three, they're all, it would be very painful on my bank account. So there is that. So Chasing Scents is an Australian brand. Yay, Australia. It is considered a niche perfume brand, a perfume house, and they have 5 perfumes in their line at the moment. And these are them. So there is Private Tea House, Rain Tea, which I got, Slow World, Tea Service, and Weeping Rose. And I do remember that I didn't dislike any of them. I did smell all of them, but my favorite were Tea Service and Rain Tea, which are the 2 that I bought. And yeah, it's definitely sort of drinking chrysanthemum tea sitting out in the rain on a wet day. And it's just, it's all the vibes. Okay, it's all the vibes. I just love it so much. Other than that, on the perfume front, I'm going to split this video because it's already 16 minutes into a couple of like, there are a few other perfumes that I picked up, but I don't want to make this like a 1 hour haul of so many things, because one thing I don't like is watching a video where they talk about 30 things and then my brain can't cope with having processed that many things in a video. So I try to limit the number of things that I talk about, which, you know, I think probably some people don't like. I think a lot of people just like one thing in one video, and that's perfectly okay. But it's my channel. I do it for fun. I do what I like, and I do what I want. The other thing I did was, what's the name of the shop? Okay. I was walking around one afternoon while hubby was back in the room having a bit of a rest. And I think it was the day that we were meant to leave, actually. Yes, we had breakfast, and then I said, I want to just walk around and look at perfume and makeup shops and things like that, because they had a Sephora, they had a Mecca, and a whole bunch of other stuff, which I do not even remember. But one of the shops I walked past was Perfect Potion. And I know Perfect Potion because I think they have, I don't know if they still do have, a shop in the Queen Victoria building. And when I was living in the city, I used to walk past that shop all the time. And it smelled fantastic. They're essentially a aromatherapy essential oil shop. And they do nice things. And I kind of got in there and got pulled into the store because they had a new range of coffee scented essential oils. And I gave them a sniff, and they're nice, but they're still pretty essential oily, even though they have kind of a coffee vibe. So they didn't really attract me. But there was nobody in the store because it was early in the day. The guy was really friendly, so we got to chatting, and he like had me try and smell and play with a whole bunch of stuff, which I enjoyed and I really appreciated. And I kind of wasn't going to get anything, but then I've been having a lot of headaches recently. It's just, you know, a lot of tension headaches. It has to do with a kind of a jaw muscular issue that I'm seeing a jaw surgeon for to get treated. But anyway, I got to smelling a whole bunch of things, and it was like, oh, what have I smelled? What haven't I smelled? Try this, try that. You know what it's like. And this guy was just really lovely, and he knew his stuff. And he said, oh, try this balancing mist. And I was like, oh, I don't like lavender. I'd like something relaxing, but I don't like lavender. I'm not a fan of lavender. The smell of lavender, it just gives me Yardley circa 1980s vibes, and I just kind of want to leave that behind me. It just is not a fun vibe. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't mind it, but it's not something that I want to smell. And I know a lot of people don't like it because it gives them a headache. It doesn't give me a headache. I just don't like it. And I don't find it relaxing. You know, every time you go into anywhere and they go, oh, you know, this is good for relaxation, and it's lavender. And I'm like, oh, no. Anyway, so I go into the store, and this is where me having a scent strip would have been helpful, because I'm not going to spray this on me since I've already got the perfumes on me. But this is their Chakra balancing mist, and I smelled it, and he sprayed it, you know, into the air for me to smell, and oh my word, it is so calming and so balancing, and there's and there might be lavender in it, but I don't smell it. So, you know, yay for them. Now, I want to try to tell you what's in it, but the writing is very small, so give me a break while I just try to read very tiny writing. So it's very fresh, and it's got sweet orange and bergamot, which gives you that freshness. Ylang ylang, which grounds it and gives it a little bit of like depth and floral. And then it's got some patchouli and geranium. Geranium is very, very pretty. It's one of my favorite florals next to jasmine, and it's a really pretty floral. I find it to be a very sort of lovely, sweet floral that can kind of go with anything, and I recognize the smell, and oh, I like it, but what is it? That's kind of geranium for me. But I find that it just adds a little something into any scent. That's patchouli, which is a very deep, very grounding scent. I like patchouli. A lot of people don't. Some people say it gives them a headache. It's got frankincense, which is it's supposed to be very good for you. It's supposed to be very calming and very uplifting, but it's still an earthy smelling scent. So that's really interesting. And then vetiver, which is very woody. Again, it's grounding, it's balancing. Sandalwood, juniper, and what else? Ginger, so you get a little bit of the warmth. It's got, yep, juniper berry, and I cannot read, sage, a little bit of jasmine. I'm reading down the ingredient list, and I can show it to you, but it's teeny tiny, so you know. So you know, as I read down, there's less and less of it, but the point is, this is a very well balanced and very well formulated and surprisingly calming scent for me. He said it's one of their most popular scents, and I can kind of see why, because it's immediately very approachable. There's nothing to me that's overly offensive in it, because everything is so well balanced, and the sort of few scents in it which you think could be offensive, like the patchouli, like the frankincense, like maybe vetiver, because you know, I don't love pure vetiver, but funnily enough, one of my all-time favorite scents, which is Byredo's Bal d'Afrique, has vetiver in it. Depending on how you blend it and how much of it you use, it becomes fresh and grounding as opposed to heavy and woody. So, you know, and it's quite low in the ingredient list. And juniper berries are used predominantly in gin making, so it's quite a herbaceous smelling scent. Think pine cones and fir trees. Like pure juniper berries would give that vibe. So you know, all of that blended together, and they've just done an amazing job of the blending. So I got the mist because I thought, you know, if I'm feeling whatever, I'll just spray a bit, and yeah, it's lovely. Ooh, and don't get it in your eye. And then they also have the balancing balm, and I actually have been using this because there's a little bit of a dip in it, but I keep this on the bedside. I don't use a lot of it, but I just tap a little bit in my temple here, and then I tap a little bit. It's been helping with my headaches, I have to say. I don't want to mess up my makeup because I am testing a foundation. And I tap a little bit under my nose. I'm very, very light-handed with this because I don't want to, you know, overdo it, because, you know, there is such a thing as overdoing it. And yeah, this is, it really does work for me in terms of being a calming, balancing scent. Because obviously, because I also got it in the essential, no, not the essential, the Aromatherapy. I haven't opened this out yet, but I want to carry this around in my purse. I'll stick this into my purse. For the pulse points, you can kind of use it as a perfume oil. But yeah, so I'm gonna add, but I got the pulse point oil as well. I didn't get the essential oil for my diffuser because I generally, unless I have like the flu or I'm not well and I need something, that's kind of the only time I run the diffuser, because I actually don't like scents in the room when I'm trying to sleep at night because I find it distracting. I know it's weird. For somebody who likes perfume as much as I do and who likes nice smelling things as much as I do, I actually find sleeping with it a little bit distracting. So, hello, I'm weird. Yes, I acknowledge that. So yes, this is going to go into, actually the reason it's been sitting here and it hasn't gone into my purse is because I've been waiting to make this video and then I'll pop it into my purse. So this is going into my purse. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put this yet, but I will keep it somewhere so that I can, you know, sort of have a little bit of sensory experience every now and then. Maybe in the office where I'm kind of, you know, working and can sometimes get a bit busy. And the final thing that I got was this. This was sort of something that I was wandering around looking and went, oh, that looks nice. This is the Perfect Potion Replenished Night Balm with vitamin C and everlasting. I have no idea what everlasting is. So, you know, I should have done a better job of telling you what each thing is. Right. So I'll start again. The Perfect Potion Chakra Balancing Mist. The Perfect Potion Chakra Balancing Aromatherapy Pulse Point Oil. That's going in my purse. And the Perfect Potion Chakra Balancing Balm. Yes, that's I use on my temples, under my nose. That it has been actually living on my bedside for as long as I have I've had it. And so yeah, I pretty much picked up almost the entire Perfect Potion Chakra Balancing line because that scent really does it for me in terms of something that's calming and balancing, which surprised me a great deal because, you know, I use essential oils at home, and I really dislike, like I said, lavender, and I really wasn't expecting to find something that I would resonate with so much in terms of something that was calming and balancing and relaxing. And yeah, wow, this did it. So maybe I should have done a whole video about it on its own, but I kind of didn't want to either because then, I don't know, maybe I should have. Anyway, so back to the Perfect Potion Replenished Night Balm with vitamin C and everlasting. It looks like this. I started it the day after I came home, which was the 15th of September. I do have a date there. I've made a bit of a dip in it already, but, and this is actually going to last me a long time. It's can I smell anything? It just smells fresh, maybe a little bit herbal. The writing is way too small for me to actually read you the ingredients to tell you what's in it. But it says, replenish your skin with this rich golden balm and infuse your skin with active antioxidants, nourishing plant oils, and rejuvenating essential oils. Smooth over your face, neck, and décolletage. And then it has a warning about reactions and things like that. I am not sensitive to scents, and I am, depending on the scent, but I am not sensitive to scents in skincare, and I am not sensitive to essential oils and fragrance oils on my skin. My lips are an entirely different matter, but my skin is fine. So I know a lot of people don't like fragrance in their skincare. If that is you, this is not for you, because it's got essential oils in it. However, it's a balm. It's very rich, and the reason I got it, you can see it's like, you know, oily, is because I have been on the hunt for a very long time for a very rich under eye balm, cream, whatever, because my under eyes get dry. And you know, as I get older, they get drier, and then the lines and eyelash. The lines and wrinkles show more. Sorry, get rid of an eyelash there. And I don't know if you can see it, but you know, I'm very hydrated today, and you can see how glowy I am. Sorry, that might not show as much, but you know, I know Echo's gonna pull the phone right up to her eyeballs to find my wrinkles. But anyway, so I've been looking for a very hydrating, you know, balmy, almost oily. Actually, sometimes I use castor oil around my eyeballs and under my eyes. Eye cream hydrating thingamabobby for under my eyes. And I thought, you know, I'll give this a try. It's been good. I have enjoyed it. I don't know if it's like made it better, but it's not gotten worse. It is I think my, yeah, I've only been using it for about a month, is my sort of opinion at the moment. And not getting worse is good for me, because, you know, when you age and you get to a certain point, reversing becomes harder and harder. But making sure that it doesn't get worse is of great benefit. And so this has been working for me in the not getting worse department. And one thing I do find when I remember to do it, because normally I use it at night, when I remember to do it, if I use it under my eyes in the morning, and then I whack on some sunscreen on top of it, you know, to protect the area and all that sort of stuff, it makes my foundation look a lot better under my eyes, because that area is just really hydrated, and it works well for that. So I am very happy with it. I'm actually really happy with everything that I got from the Perfect Potion, because it was kind of a splurgy, you know, impulse shopping thing for me. And I try really hard not to do that too much, because it's, well, like I said, not good for my bank account. Yeah, so that's it. I am gonna go because I'm starting to feel a little hungry, and it is time for my pre-lunch protein shake. Diabetes, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to, I would really appreciate if you did the YouTubey things and gave this a like, a comment, hit subscribe, and you know, all that sort of stuff. And I will catch you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.